learning to hate women. The natural cycle of learned behavior follows the acronym ABC: antecedent, behavior, consequence. Take the fight on the school playground as an example. The antecedent: the boys had a disagreement about a certain topic. Behavior: the boys got into a fight. The C is the most important step, the consequence. The C step ultimately decides whether or not a behavior will continue. The consequence in the playground case was being sent to the office. Did it work? For a short time, yes, but the fights were always expected when the antecedent arose again. After all, boys will be boys. And as boys learn what masculinity is, they learn even quicker what it isn't. Take the same ABC theory and apply it to a boy exhibiting a different kind of behavior. Let's say little Bobby wants to play with Barbie dolls at recess with the girls instead of football with the boys. Antecedent: Bobby's healthy and normal curiosity to explore his own femininity. Behavior: Bobby goes over to play with the girls and their dolls. Consequence: I imagine you, reader, know enough about what goes on in situations like this to predict the potential consequence. It's likely Bobby might get beat up by the boys on the playground. Bobby is likely to be called a sissy or a fairy. Bobby will more than likely get a talking to by his father about how to man up. For many young boys in this situation, exploring doll play is just not worth this social shunning. So they end it and go back to roughhousing where they belong. Boys will be boys because boys have to be boys. The Bobby example plants the seed of another crucial pillar of masculinity: misogyny. Simple definition: the hatred of women and femininity. That said, no boy who grows into a heterosexual man will ever admit to hating women. Many men truly believe that they don't. That's how deep the seed was planted in their childhood. Ingraining misogyny comes along on a wide spectrum, from exposing young boys to music with lyrics promoting violence against women, to shaming a young boy for wanting to wear dresses or play with girls' toys, to patronizing a boy at recess by saying, "You play like a girl." Both blatantly and tacitly, these moments water the seed and further allow the misogyny plant to grow and thrive. As boys grow older, their internalized misogyny gets more complicated as many start developing attraction to girls. Many discover internet videos and begin a fixation with a woman's anatomy and the pleasure they can potentially get from it. Excessive consumption of internet videos conditions young boys to see women and girls as objects for their taking. Then during puberty, they observe their female classmates' changes in body and suddenly have urges to want to touch them. When I was in 4th grade, a boy pretended his backpack was me and started aggressively making out with it and touching it all over the place. Ew. To this 9-year-old boy, I was an object that he could do whatever he wanted to. Ick rushed throughout my little body, but I figured it was normal because the teacher would have stepped in and told him to knock it off if this wasn't normal behavior, right? So I learned very quickly that if a boy sexualized me, I just had to sit back and let it happen. Boys will be boys. Many young girls find themselves in similar situations where they are discouraged from speaking up about a male classmate's behavior, so they just leave it alone. I remember hearing a story about a boy who was flicking rubber bands at his female classmate repeatedly. The girl kept saying over and over again, "Ow, that hurts," but he just kept going. And when she told the teacher, the response was, "You know he's only doing that because he has a crush on you." And this is perhaps the most dangerous seed we plant in young girls, the one that teaches us to accept violent behavior from boys as a sign of love and admiration. And as time passes, boys will be boys becomes men will be men.